Whereazolis was saying, I was testing out VR mining in my golem and then I went to refine. I got a pretty big surprise, only 45% return. If that's actually intended, it lines up perfectly with the current salvage nerf. I really feel like you guys are killing professions and pushing everyone towards FPS and ship combat. If this is the case, I genuinely appreciate some feedback as to why. Why make it possible to earn 2 million per hour running Vandal missions, while at the same time remove every incentive to be an industrialist? I get the people frustrated with how much combat is seemingly in the game, but this idea that people feel like Star Citizen is being pushed more towards combat than industry feels very knee-jerky. It feels a little short-sighted because Star Citizen's always been combat-oriented. From the very beginning. Arena Commander, the PU itself. There were a couple investigation missions and stuff here and there, but I would say up until 3.18, the main focus was combat, right? You couldn't get reputation for cargo hauling. You couldn't get reputation for mining or for salvaging. The salvage didn't exist. Most of the stuff in the game wasn't really paying that well besides bounties. Most people just did bounties for money. So and now we have salvage, we have the cargo refactor, we have reputation in cargo hauling, in salvaging. They have rebalanced mining a little bit. I think it still needs a gameplay update itself. But like he said, they added the golem. You know, they've tried to do cargo focused events where we've never really had those before. And even those had combat in them. Like I'm not saying that CIG doesn't have a hankering for combat, but it's very obviously because that's the easiest thing to do, and that's the gameplay they have. If we look at what Star Citizen 1.0 is supposed to be, clearly they have a real, like a pinnacle fucking hard-on for crafting. And they're going to be all about that kind of stuff once it comes into the game. And I think people are just kind of forgetting how much they talk about it, but I see it a lot. And maybe CIG does need to, I don't know. I say CIG may need to say something, but they've said a lot about like what they want to do, and I think it's just a matter of what comes into the game and not. Anyways, after his question, Niku responded down here to say, in 4.4 mining is indeed lagging a bit behind, but the good news is that see, these kinds of acknowledgements, I don't know if people see these and they're like, oh, okay, so they are acknowledging that combat is not important, or if they just completely ignore that. Good news is that 4.5 is bringing an update to pricing, so we should see improvements there as well as in salvage. Updates to pricing is good. If you go back to CitizenCon this year, there was one little thing they said that I think they need to follow up on, or else I'm going to throw a fit.
Shop that we've added is a refinery deck for Levski. That's where you can take your processed goods, not just from Levski, but from the rest of the Nix system, and refine and sell those goods there. As a lot of the content in the next coming releases for Nix is going to be mining related.
See, I don't even think that's the only time during this show that they kind of insinuated that mining was getting some updates coming up after Nix came out. So we'll see what comes of that. I mean, a pricing update is one thing, but this sort of thing, when they say things like that, I expect there to be at least some kind of change to where we want to sell, or like, yeah. The specific materials. That's right. They're also bringing in new commodities. I think they're looking out for this stuff. It's slow, and combat's easy. What I'm calling out is this idea that they're killing professions and pushing everyone to combat. Genuinely thinking, I think everybody understands that would kill the game. I don't think anybody at CIG thinks this is going to be a combat game, or it's supposed to be a combat game. That'd be crazy. If they were like, yeah, we don't need mining. What do you mean mining? We can craft out of the dead bodies of our enemies. Why not? So we'll see. We'll see what they do with that. I think that we do need to see some more mining talk and mining updates. A price increase is cool, or a price change is cool. Balancing is great. But maybe we'll see something actually advanced in 4.6. And that very well could be Rockcracker. They've already teased what looks like Rockcracker, so that might be what they're planning for the next update.